possess you, misuse you.
Turn it up.
Matter of fact, he says you can have it all and can show you how powerful you really are.
On the post show.
But it might not keep you in the room for a long time. God has you in the front. It's time for you to shift your atmosphere and shift your atmosphere right now. Listen, your perspective is either your prison or your passport, because how you interpret a problem determines how you see a problem. Understand, problems are better solved when they are seen as challenges. Because if you give your problem the power to control your perspective, it will leave you depleted. First Peter 5:10 says, after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you into his eternal glory in Christ, he himself will give you full promises. He himself will restore you, confirm you, strengthen you, and establish you. Woo! How you handle the turbulence in your life determines how high you soar. Did you know that for the first 90 days in flight school, pilots are taught how to master emergency situations? You might be asking why. Because the instructor knows that crises must become second nature to the pilot, ensuring that the pilot knows how to do two things: master flight and ensure life's survival. It is possible that the storm in your life is setting you up for success. I believe that this text can show us that God promises to give us 4 essential things that'll keep us while we're in what is painful and what is uncomfortable. Listen, number 1 is this. He says, I will restore you. Understand, he says, I will restore what you have been through. I will restore what people said about you, and I will restore what people try to do to you. That's powerful. And I love this restoration process because another version says, I will make you perfect. Understand that God is not trying to make you perfect. God is trying to perfect you. It is in the perfecting of the storm that God exposes you to show you how powerful you really are. Understand, you are like a diamond in God's hand, but you don't start off like a diamond. You start off like coal, and coal is made into a diamond under these 2 things: heat and pressure. It is possible that you are going through the heat and pressure of life because God is about to show you that you are about to shine again. Watch this. When you lift a diamond up at every turn, you see the different clarity. But when God lifts you, we are going to be able to see the favor, the blessing, the joy, the peace that comes with surviving storms. Woo. Number 2 is this: confirm. He is going to confirm how much of God he really is over your situation. Confirmation is God's way of giving you peace in the storm. God said, I'm not just outside the storm, but I'm getting in the boat with you while you're going through what you're going through. Number 3 is strengthen. Understand that sometimes suffering and pain has a funny way of bringing your vices to the surface. I don't know what it is, but sometimes when we're in pain, we have this propensity, this thing that pushes us to self-medicate. I don't know what your self-medication is. Maybe it's shopping. Maybe it's pain pills. Maybe it's pills. Maybe it's weed. Maybe it's some form of drug. Maybe it's a toxic relationship. But sometimes I think what we must understand is that when we are in the season of suffering, our vices sometimes come to the surface. But watch what he gives us. He gives us the reward of giving us strength. Now, what kind of strength is this? This is the strength of power. What kind of power is this? This is the dunamis power, the power that raised Jesus up from the dead on the 3rd day. He said, I'm going to give you that power to get out of every dead situation that you're in. And I'm also going to give you the power to resist the temptation to go back to your past. Oh man, that's rich. Number 4 is establish. In other words, God says, when I establish you this time, I'm going to seal the deal. God said, you are like a soldier getting the Medal of Honor. You know what the Medal of Honor is? The Medal of Honor is the highest U.S. military decoration awarded by Congress to the member of the armed forces for bravery in combat at the risk of life above and beyond the call of duty. Oh, in other words, God said, I'm going to honor you. Why does God need to honor you? He said, after you suffer a little while, the God of all grace will do 4 things. Restore you, confirm you, strengthen you, and establish you. That sounds like honor to me. In other words, God said, I'm going to honor you with 3 things. I'm going to certify you, I'm going to verify you, and I'm going to mark you. He said, I'm going to certify you because this certification process that you went through, you passed. He said, I'm going to verify you. You know, on social media, you have to be verified once you reach a certain acclaim so your identity is not stolen. In other words, God said, I'm going to verify you because no one else would have survived what you went through. No one else will be able to get credit for the storm that you survived. I'm going to verify you. He says, I'm going to mark you. Understand that this mark is not a mark of embarrassment. He says, I'm going to mark you with my seal. I'm going to mark you. Watch this. My seal is my blood. I'm going to mark you with my blood so when death comes, it'll pass. Oh man, I'm loving this. That famous German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, to live is to suffer. To survive is to find meaning in the suffering. If you continue to look at your challenges as your prison, it'll hinder you from your purpose. All right, y'all. Peace.